things just got intense. Melody's mom, Miss Vanessa, is not playing around and she just called out Fletcher. She said Nell is lying, and now all the drama is spilling out. But what exactly did Nell say that made Miss Vanessa so upset? And why? Does it feel like everyone is turning against Melody? Is this part of a bigger plan, or is there more to the story than you think? Stay tuned because we are about to break down all the messy details, the shade, the proof, and the real truth behind everything that is happening. Trust me, you do not want to miss this, because when Miss Vanessa speaks, she always tells the truth. Let's get into it. Things are really starting to heat up. Melody Shari's mom, Miss Vanessa, is tired of holding back, and she is making sure everyone knows it. She just called out Nell Fletcher in front of all the LH fans, saying she is lying. But here's the thing. This is not just some small drama. This situation is revealing much bigger problems within the love and... If you have been watching Marriage Huntsville, you already know that there has been a lot of drama with Melody. We have seen Melody stand strong again and again. But when her mom steps in, you know it is serious. So what exactly did Nell say that made Miss Vanessa so angry? Why is Melody always the center of all the drama? And is this just another way for the cast to try to bring her down? In this video, we are going to break down the full story. What led to Miss Vanessa's big reaction and everything that has been going on behind the scenes? Let's get into what is really going on and what this could mean for the future of Love and Marriage Huntsville. We have all the details, reactions, and some surprising things you might have missed. So grab your popcorn, hit that like button, and let's dive right in. The drama between Miss Vanessa and Nell Fletcher did not just come out of nowhere. If you have been keeping up with Love and Marriage Huntsville, you already know that Melody has been dealing with a lot of betrayal and shady behavior from people she thought were her friends over the years. Over the seasons, we have watched Melody go through a messy divorce with Martell, deal with constant gossip, and try her best to keep her peace while people continue to drag her name. Through all of this, her mother, Miss Vanessa, has always been there for her. But let's be clear, this is not just about a mother defending her daughter. Miss Vanessa does not speak up unless she has a reason. When she says something, it is because she has the facts and proof to back it up. So when she spoke out, you know it was for real. When Miss Vanessa called Nell Fletcher a liar, people really started to pay attention. So, what exactly happened? Let's rewind for a moment. There's been some tension building behind the scenes for a while. Some cast members, including Nell, have tried to make Melody look like someone who is difficult, distant, and even sneaky. We have all seen how they give her side glances, leave her out of conversations, and try to make it seem like she is the problem, even though the real issue is that Melody refuses to play their game. This situation really exploded when Nell made a comment that clearly crossed the line. From what we understand, Nell allegedly said something about Melody that was completely false, and Miss Vanessa was not going to let it slide. She quickly called out Nell for lying and made it clear that enough is enough. But why would Nell lie? What could she gain from dragging Melody's name through the mud? Well, this is not just a simple misunderstanding. There is a lot more going on than people realize. And as we start to dig deeper, the truth begins to come to light. The real reasons behind all this drama are starting to come out. But before we dive into that, things are about to get really messy. Once Miss Vanessa spoke up, the entire fanbase has something to say. And let's just say people are picking sides. Miss Vanessa is not the type to get involved in drama just for fun, unlike some of the other cast members who seem to enjoy the chaos. She has always carried herself with grace and respect, but when she speaks, you can be sure it is for a very important reason. This time, she really came out swinging. The moment Miss Vanessa called out Nell Fletcher for lying, it shocked the entire Love and Marriage Huntsville fanbase. Social media exploded with debates, and people quickly began picking sides. Some stood with Melody and Miss Vanessa, believing that Melody has been unfairly targeted for years. Others rushed to defend Nell, saying she would not just make something up out of nowhere. But let's be honest, this is not the first time Melody has been the target of a smear campaign. If we look back at the last few seasons, it is clear that Melody has often been shown as the villain. Whether it was her tough divorce with Martell, the friendships that fell apart, or all the accusations thrown her way, it always seems like someone is trying to bring her down. Now that Miss Vanessa has stepped in to defend her daughter, it is even more obvious that some people just do not want to see Melody succeed. The pattern of Melody being targeted is hard to ignore for anyone who has been watching. If you have been watching Love and Marriage Huntsville from the start, you already know that Melody has been through a lot of betrayal. Let's take a quick look at some of the biggest times she was wrongfully attacked. First, the Martell Holt cheating scandal. When Melody finally found the strength to leave her toxic marriage, she got blamed instead of being supported. People tried to make her feel like she should have worked things out with Martell, even after all the lies and disrespect. Then, there was the mean girl narrative. Melody has often been called cold and distant, but the truth is, she simply chose to protect her peace instead of getting involved in unnecessary drama. She tried to keep things focused on business, but that only made some people more determined to make her look like the bad person. Take the situation with Destiny Payton and Letitia Scott. When Melody decided to distance herself from these former friends, they acted like she was the problem, but fans who paid attention saw the truth. Melody was being talked about behind her back, and she had every right to step away. Here we go again. Another season and another attempt to make Melody the villain. The truth is, they just cannot stand her because she refuses to put up with their nonsense. Melody is a successful businesswoman, a proud mom, and a woman who knows her worth. She does not need to be part of the mean girl group to feel important. And that alone makes certain cast members uncomfortable. But let's not forget, Melody is not the only one they are targeting. 4. When Miss Vanessa stepped up to shut down the lies, it became crystal clear that the people on the show will do whatever it takes to keep their false narratives going. But here's where things take a major turn, because after Miss Vanessa spoke, Nell Fletcher was put in a position where she had to respond. And trust me, y'all, what she said only made things worse. Nell Fletcher's response did she make it worse for herself. The moment Nell was called out, people expected her to deny, but her response, it was shaky at best rather than clearing the air or proving that she was telling the truth. Nell seemed to be talking in circles, avoiding direct questions, and playing the victim instead of standing firm in what she originally said she started, backtracking, acting as if her words had been misinterpreted. If there's one thing we know about Miss Vanessa, it's that she doesn't come with opinions. She comes with facts, and y'all know what that means, right? Receipts might be on the way in. This Point fans are closely watching, waiting to see if Miss Vanessa will bring out the truth to end this once and for all. If she does, it could be game over for Nell. But what does this mean for Melody? Will she finally get the respect she deserves? Or will the cast find another way to turn things against her? Stay tuned because this drama is far from over. Once Miss Vanessa called out Nell Fletcher, the Love and Marriage Huntsville community went wild. The reactions on social media were fast and strong. But what really happened next? What really got people talking was how the rest of the cast responded. Some cast members quickly stepped in to defend Nell, saying that Miss Vanessa was being too dramatic and making a bigger deal out of things than necessary. Others chose to stay quiet, watching carefully to see how everything would unfold before picking a side. But let's be honest, silence says a lot. The ones who stayed quiet knew exactly what was going on. They knew that Nell might have been caught in a lie. But instead of holding her accountable, they decided to just let the drama play out without getting involved. That right there is the problem. Why does the cast keep protecting the wrong people? If you've been watching Lamb long enough, you've probably noticed a pattern where certain people lie, manipulate, or play dirty. The rest of the cast conveniently ignores it, but the moment Melody or anyone on her side tries to speak up for themselves, suddenly it's a problem. Suddenly they're accused of being too aggressive or starting drama. It's the same old story time and time again. And let's not forget, this isn't just about Melody. Miss Vanessa is a grown woman who has been nothing but respectful. She doesn't get involved in petty arguments, she doesn't spread rumors, and she certainly doesn't need to lie. So why is it that when she speaks up, suddenly people want to act like she's out of her mind? Because the truth makes people uncomfortable. The reality is certain cast members are completely fine with lying and backstabbing, as long as it's not directed at them. But when Miss Vanessa and Melody refuse to sit quietly and take the disrespect suddenly, they are being made to look like the bad guys, and the double standards are clear. Fans are not falling for it anymore. If there is one thing this latest drama has shown, it is that the audience is waking up. Gone are the days when people just believed whatever story was being told. Now, fans are paying close attention, looking at every detail, and calling out the unfairness as it happens. And let me tell you, the comments have been tough. They always find a way to gang up on Melody, and it is starting to get old. Miss Vanessa, however, is one of the most respectful people, and that should be noticed. People on the show, if she's calling someone out, they did something shady. Why does Nell get to lie with no consequences? But if Melody did the same thing, they'd be dragging her for filth. Fans are not here for the foolishness anymore. And the cast better pay attention, because the more they try to cover up the lies, the more people are going to see through the fake alliances. Is this the beginning of the cast divide? Now here's where things get even more interesting, with all this tension building. Up we have to ask this drama. This situation could cause a permanent split in the cast. We already know that Melody has been keeping her distance from some people. This could be the final reason that forces her to completely cut ties with certain cast members. If that happens, what will happen to the rest of the group? Will some of them start switching sides to protect their own reputations? Will others continue to try and make Melody look like the villain? One thing is clear, the drama is just beginning. If Miss Vanessa decides to share the proof she has, things could really change. Receipts? It's going to be a whole new level of messy. Now let's talk about the real game. Share. What happens if Miss Vanessa decides to drop all the receipts? Because, let's be honest, if she's saying Nell is a liar, that means she's got proof to back it up. We've seen how this plays out before. Somebody starts lying thinking they can get away with it. Boom, the receipts drop, and suddenly, folks are backpedaling like they never said a word. If Miss Vanessa truly wants to clear her name and expose Nell for who she really is, all she has to do is bring out the messages, the conversations, or any behind-the-scenes footage that proves her point. And let me tell you, if she does that, it's over. Because one thing about Miss Vanessa, she doesn't just talk for the sake of talking when she says something. It's because she's seen it firsthand, or she has the proof to back it up. If she exposes Nell publicly, not only will Nell's credibility crumble, but the rest of the cast will have to scramble to pick a side. And that's where things get really messy now, and the drama is reaching a whole new level. The biggest question everyone is asking is who will stand with Miss Vanessa and who will turn their back on her. At this point, it is hard to know who will genuinely support her and who will distance themselves from her. We already know that Melody is going to be there for her mother no matter what happens. She has always had her mother's back, and there is no doubt she will continue to stand strong by Miss Vanessa's side. But what about the other cast members? Of them might try to stay neutral in the situation, pretending like they do not know what is happening, or simply staying out of the drama. However, others will definitely feel the pressure to take sides. In situations like this, it is difficult to stay on the sidelines for long. People start picking sides, and those who try to stay neutral may be forced to make a decision. The question becomes, will they risk their own relationships with other cast members just to defend Miss Vanessa? Or will they choose to stay out of it and avoid taking sides? This could be a turning point for some of the cast members, as they will have to decide whether to stick with their own beliefs and defend Miss Vanessa, or worry about their own friendships and alliances. The pressure to choose a side will only grow stronger as the situation unfolds. It is clear that the drama is only getting started, and we will have to wait and see how each cast member handles this messy situation. Will they support Miss Vanessa, or will they stay away from the chaos? Stand with Nell even if it means going against the truth. This could be the moment that truly shakes up the cast dynamics on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Because let's be real, this isn't just about Miss Vanessa and Nell. This is about the bigger issue of loyalty, truth, and who's really keeping it 100. And if certain cast members decide to protect Nell's lies over standing up for the truth, who fans are going to drag them for it? How will Nell Fletcher respond? Now let's talk about Nell for a second, because, she's not just going to sit back and let Miss Vanessa call her a liar without trying to clap back, but the real question is how will she respond? Will she deny everything and act like Miss Vanessa is just making things up? Will she try to play the victim and say that she's being unfairly targeted? Or will she go silent, hoping that this whole thing blows over? If Nell was smart, she would come clean now before the situation gets out of control. Because let's be real, once the receipts start dropping, It's going to be a lot harder to spin the narrative in her favor, and the longer she waits to respond, the worse. It's going to look at this point. The only way for Nell to save face is to own up to whatever she said or did otherwise. This situation is about to spiral into something even bigger. Will this lead to a cast explosion? Now the million-dollar question, is this drama going to cause a major explosion in the cast? Because let's be honest, this situation isn't just about one lie or one disagreement. This is about a pattern. For a long time, there has been a certain pattern on reality TV where some people lie, play games, and try to twist the truth, while others are expected to just stay quiet and accept it. People were used to these kinds of situations where the truth gets said and no one really speaks up. But now, things are starting to shift, and the dynamics are changing. Miss Vanessa and Melody are no longer staying silent, and they are making clear that they are not going to sit back and let these things slide anymore. They are calling out the lies as they happen, refusing to let the games continue without a fight. They are standing up for themselves, making sure that people know they will not play along with the fake reality TV antics that others are used to. The more Miss Vanessa and Melody speak out, the more it starts to make the rest of the cast uncomfortable. It forces people to pick a side. No longer can everyone stay neutral or pretend they do not see what is happening. They are being forced to take a stand, whether they want to or not. The more that Miss Vanessa and Melody stand up for what is right, the harder it becomes for others to ignore the truth. They cannot just turn a blind eye anymore. It has become clear that people must decide where they stand. This is when the real drama begins, when people are no longer able to hide behind their false stories and have to face the truth. The game has changed, and now everyone has to decide. The tension is rising, and the question on everyone's mind is who is about to crack under the pressure? Who is going to make the mistake of defending the wrong person and, in the process, expose themselves? It's a ticking time bomb, and with every passing moment, someone is bound to turn on their so-called friends to protect their own image. The friendships that once seemed unbreakable are now teetering on the edge of destruction. As the drama unfolds, it becomes clear that no one is safe from the fallout. Some will get caught in the crossfire, unsuspecting victims of a war they never intended to be a part of. It's a tangled web of deceit, betrayal, and personal agendas, and it's anyone's guess who will be left standing when the dust settles. But there is one thing that is certain. This is far from over. If Miss Vanessa has more to say, and we know she does, then buckle up because things are about to get even wilder. The stakes are high, and the people involved are willing to go to extreme lengths to protect themselves, even if it means burning bridges along the way. The drama is only heating up, and the fallout is going to be catastrophic. As the days go by, we will see alliances shift, loyalties tested, and people's true colors finally revealed. The people who thought they could weather the storm may soon find themselves overwhelmed by the very chaos they tried to avoid. And as for Miss Vanessa, well, she's just getting started. So hold on tight, because the ride ahead promises to be even more unpredictable and intense than anyone